Hey everyone, and welcome back. So Arrow has announced their October titles, so this is definitely some of the ones I've been kind of looking forward to see what they announce. Obviously, October being a very big month, especially for horror releases. Very interested to see what some of the other companies have planned for October as well. But now we do have the Arrow announcements. We have a couple of UK only ones, a couple of US and Canada only ones, and then finally two actually for everyone. So, US, Canada, and the UK. So let's see, where should we start? Why don't we start with actually one of the ones for everyone. So US, Canada, and the UK. It's a Blu-ray box set called J-Horror Rising, which has 7 Japanese horror films. Retails for $99.99. So this will be a box set and be one of those limited edition packaging with their deluxe booklet / book kind of things. I think a poster, right? I think a double-sided fold-out poster, and then 4 Blu-ray discs inside with the 7 films on them. And again, this is for US, Canada, and UK. So obviously the US, Canada ones will be region A, and UK ones will be region B. So let's see. So disc 1 has 2 movies on it. It has Shikoku is Sola Multiple Personality Girl. And there's 2 new commentary tracks, one with Japanese cinema expert Tom Mess on Shikoku, and then on the Sola Multiple Personality Girl commentary track with Japanese cinema experts Jasper Sharp and Amber T. Plus it has the aftermath. Tom Mess discusses J-horror at the turn of the millennium. Something in the Water, a brand new interview with Shikoku director Shunichi Nagasaki. Archival interviews with the director and actors. Maybe I should skip over a couple of these names because I always feel bad when I mispronounce some of them. A couple of more archival interviews with some of the actors, as well as on-set footage, original trailers, TV spots, and image galleries. So now we move on to disc number 2, which has the movies, Inugami and St. John's Wort. And that has 2 new commentary tracks, one with Japanese cinema expert Jonathan Clements on Inugami, and then on St. John's Wort, one with Japanese cinema expert Amber T. And as Dog Days, a brand new interview with the Inugami director Masato Harada. I think that one I can pronounce okay. The Making of St. John's Wort, an archival featurette. Archival interviews with St. John's Wort actors. Let me just leave it there. On-set behind-the-scenes footage of the filming of St. John's Wort, original trailers, TV spots for St. John's Wort, as well as image galleries for both films. And then we move on to disc 3, which has Carved, the Slit-Mouthed Woman, and Persona. A brand new commentary track on Carved, the Slit-Mouthed Woman by Japanese folklore expert Zach Davison. Why So Serious? A brand new interview with Carved, the Slit-Mouthed Woman director Koji Shirashi. Weapon of Choice, a brand new video essay on Carved, the Slit-Mouthed Woman by Japanese horror specialist Lindsay Nelson. Confessions of a Mask, a brand new interview with Persona director Takashi Komatsu, as well as image galleries for both films. And then finally on disc 4 is the film Noroi the Curse. Am I pronouncing that? Noroi? Noroi? Maybe? Let's move on. Brand new commentary track with film critic Julian Singleton. Director's POV, a new video interview with the director. Man in the Shadows, a brand new interview with the producer. Changing Perspective, a brand new video essay on the film by horror specialist Lindsay Nelson. Ectoplasmic Worms, a brand new video essay on the film by Japanese cinema expert Amber T. How to Protect Yourself Against Curses. Urgent Report, Pursuing the Truth About Kajutaba TV special. Over half an hour of deleted scenes, trailers, and TV spots, as well as an image gallery. So definitely quite a packed set for sure. And also glad that they are continuing on with some of the Japanese horror films as well. Something they've been doing like all along. So I'm glad that that is still going. And that one is slated for October 28th. So let's move on to the next one. Let's see, which one should we handle next? Next up, let's do the 2 UK only ones. So one of these is a Blu-ray, so the Blu-ray will be region B locked, and then the other one is a 4K release. So first up is a Blu-ray release of Exorcist II: The Heretic. So this is getting a Blu-ray release in the UK. Now, we did get this on Blu-ray from Scream Factory a couple years ago. Slated for October 7th, retailing for £24.99. Now, as far as I can tell, it has all of the extras that were on the Scream Factory release. And just like that one, it does have two versions of the film. So disc 1 has the original premiere version, and then disc 2 has the international version. So the difference in running time is 118 minutes for the original premiere version and 103 minutes for the international version. So again, it's on disc 1 and disc 2. And as far as I can tell, it has all the same extras as far as an archival commentary track with director John Borman, another commentary track with consultant Scott Michael Bosco, a visual essay, an interview with Linda Blair, theatrical trailer, teasy trailer, an image gallery, but it does actually have two new commentary tracks that are exclusive to this era release. First one is one by film historian Lee Gammon and filmmaker David Kittredge, director of the forthcoming feature-length Exorcist II documentary called Heretics. That is something I would like to see. And then the other new commentary track is one by screenwriter and author Kelly Goodner and film historian Jim Hemphill. So those are new to this release. So just want to kind of throw that out there. And again, this is the UK release, so it is going to be region B locked. And as far as transfer goes, nothing here says anything about a new transfer. It only says that it's a high-def Blu-ray presentation. I'm going to take a really wild guess and say that this is the exact same transfers that we do have, that were already on the previous Scream Factory release. And again, those transfers, as far as I know, come from Warner Brothers. So neither one of these companies can really do anything about that. And next up, coming to the UK, is a new 4K release of The Exorcist III. Now, they did already release that in Blu-ray previously, and so now it's getting a 4K upgrade. Also set for October 7th, retailing for £29.99. So this will be a 2-disc set, a 4K disc and a Blu-ray. The included Blu-ray obviously will be region B locked. So the interesting thing about this is, in many ways, this actually does match the Scream Factory 4K release as well. In fact, I believe it's all the same extras. I don't think there's anything new on here, but I might be wrong. It doesn't look like it. So it does have a 4K version of the theatrical cut, presented in Dolby Vision. It will have the original 2.0 stereo track on both cuts and an optional 5.1 surround track for the theatrical cut only, because disc 2, which is, again, Blu-ray only, does have the Legion Director's Cut, which was also on the previous era Blu-ray and also on the Scream Factory release. And for those of you who don't know, that the majority of that cut is it was the early cut, even before they refilmed a lot of it. And a lot of it's literally coming from tape. So that's why there's no way that could be a 4K release, because most of that footage is literally coming off of a tape, not off film. But a very cool extra to have. And again, nothing here about having a new transfer, so I'm going to assume it's pretty much going to mimic the Scream Factory release as well, as far as the transfer goes. Now, some of you may remember, I did notice mild, but it was still there, and I do have to mention it, that there was some mild clipping in the highlights in the Scream Factory release, which I'm guessing probably stems from, unfortunately, the original transfer that was done, honestly, from Morgan Creek. Who knows? I'd be happy if I'm wrong, because actually I'm probably, even though I do have the Scream Factory release, I'm tempted to still go ahead and get this one as well. And the nice thing about this, of course, is the fact that, with the exception of the alternate cut, which is on that extra Blu-ray, all of the other extras are actually on the 4K disc, so which is nice. And for those of you in the UK, you also have an Arrow Store exclusive alternate version of The Exorcist III that you can get directly from Arrow, which just has on the outer slip, it does use the original one-sheet artwork on it. So just an extra option for you guys in the UK. And now we move over to the one that is the US and Canada only. And this is actually a cool release if you don't already have it. And that is indeed both a Blu-ray and 4K release, so two separate things, box sets of the Hellraiser Quartet of Torment edition, which has the first 4 Hellraiser films in it. And some of you remember that that did get released in the UK last year. Now we're finally getting it here in the US and Canada. And some of you may wonder, like, why didn't they release them both at the same time? I think it actually has something to do with licensing, and I believe it has something to do specifically with licensing with Paramount that they were able to finally clear out, because I think they still would have put them out at the same time if they could, like they do in other releases, including one actually we'll be getting to shortly. But just a heads up, if you did not get this set last year, that again has all 4 films and a bunch of awesome extras, including a work print of the 4th film. This is a fantastic set. Some of you even remember when I was doing my I would say best of, but some of my favorite releases of last year. This was number 2. I think it was number 2, right? Yeah, I think the Psycho set was number 1. This was number 2, but it was like a hair between the two because I loved both those sets. So this is a fantastic set. Definitely highly recommend it. And again, there will be a Blu-ray release and a 4K release. There'll be 2 separate releases. The Blu-ray release does retail for $109.99, and the 4K set retails for $119.99. So actually, geez, not that much of a price difference between the two. And this is slated for October 22nd. And again, fantastic release. I cannot recommend it enough. Really, really fantastic. So I'm glad for those of you who never did pick up the UK version, who don't live in the UK, who are here in the States or in Canada, hopefully, again, I recommend it. Great set. And if you want something a little bit different, there is also an Arrow store exclusive of the Hellraiser set. And I believe this is the 4K only. I don't think the Blu-ray has an alternate, has a store exclusive version. So again, same retail price, $119.99, although it is on pre-order for $80 from the Arrow store. And it just has a different image on the cover of the Chatterer rather than Pinhead. So just a cool option. As well. And again, that is an Arrow store exclusive. And then the final title set for October is a new 4K release coming to the US, Canada, and the UK, so we can all get it, luckily, of the film Trick or Treat, the anthology, not the other Trick or Treat, which hopefully we hear more about soon, the one coming from Synapse, the film from 86. This is the other one from 2008, 2007. I need to double check. I'll check the year in a second. But this is finally getting a 4K release, which is great because it was actually shot on film. Some people sometimes kind of forget that because of the time frame, but it actually was shot on film. So this is why we can get a 4K release. I just want to mention real quick too that there are 2 versions: the regular release, which I'm going to get to all the details in just a second, and also a store exclusive for, I believe, both the US and the UK, and in Canada, although in Canada you can only get it from unobstructed view. But in the US and Canada, you can get it directly from Arrow, and that's just an alternate cover, which you can see here, which has the original one-sheet artwork on it. All right, let's get to the details. Set for October 28th, cutting it close to Halloween, retailing for $49.99. We got, let's see here. I think this is basically, yeah, as far as I know, I think this is 4K only. There's no Blu-ray included. It's going to be a limited edition initially, and obviously they'll release a standard edition down the line. But it's got a brand new 4K restoration by Arrow Films, approved by writer-director Michael Dougherty. Will be in Dolby Vision. We'll have a 5.1 surround and a 2.0 stereo. And I was taking a look at the previous Scream Factory release. I believe all these extras, I think are the same. Might be wrong on a couple of these, but I don't think there's anything new here. It doesn't look like. Not that it matters because it is loaded, and we get all the details in just a second. But I do want to mention too that in this version, you do get the six postcards, which you can see here with the fold-out poster, as well as a booklet with some writings on the film. Now we get to the actual details on the disc itself. So we got a commentary track with director Michael Dougherty, concept artist Breen Bird, storyboard artist Simon Wilkins, and composer Douglas Pipes. Tales of Folklore and Fright, an archival featurette with the director, concept artist, and storyboard artist. Sounds and Shock and Superstition, scoring Trick or Treat, an archival featurette with the director and the composer. Tales of Dread and Despair, releasing Trick or Treat, an archival featurette with the director and Rob Galuzzo of the Shockwaves podcast, exploring the film's release and fandom. Season's Greetings, a short film from 1996 directed by Michael Dougherty with optional commentary. The Lore and the Legends of Halloween, an archival featurette narrated by actor Brian Cox. School Bus visual effects comparison. Additional scenes. FearNet promos, Sam O'Lantern, storyboard and conceptual artwork gallery, behind the scenes gallery, Monster Mash comic book set in the Trick or Treat universe, as well as the trailer. So that is a really nice set. I was kind of hoping this was going to be a 4K upgrade. Although I actually admit, I'm actually kind of surprised it's coming from Arrow for all of us, because I kind of would assume, at least here in the States, that it would have been coming from Scream Factory. So yeah, anyway, so this is coming from Arrow, again, set for October. I don't like that it's towards the end of October, because it'd be nice to have this in our hands before we get to Halloween, so it'd be kind of nice if it came out more like mid-October. but still a cool one. And I'm actually glad to have a 4K upgrade, since it is one of the films I tend to watch every year during that Halloween time frame. I have a couple things that I do watch every year, you know, around the like 2-3 days around Halloween. So that's it for the October titles from Arrow. Now I'm trying to think. We got a couple things coming up. Obviously, the Scream Factory announcements for their October titles should be coming up. Obviously, the Vinegar Syndrome August titles should be up very soon. And I'm sure there's all other kinds of stuff. So just want to give you guys also the heads up that actually we'll be out of town next week. Actually, I'm going to Chicago. So there's a chance I may not be able to, well, no, a chance, high probability, you know, barring anything out of the ordinary, I won't be actually doing a video next week, so it's going to be just delayed on any announcements that do happen to come in, especially towards the end of next week. But anyway, that's it for this video. Let me know your thoughts on these announcements, and as I always say, if you have any questions, let me know. I'll try and answer them as best I can. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.